You know, if I'm going to be a boxer, I'm going to be the best boxer I could be. If I'm going to be, you know, speaking about politically views, I'm going to try to do it the best way I can. So I think that's the best advice came from my dad. My dad has always been there. He's been committed, and I think that's the best advice. Now, the worst advice, I
Get
don't
that
know what
Range
the word.
Rover. Get that get that
Yeah,
Lamborghini. So,
maybe. But I don't know what the worst advice is, because I feel like anything somebody says to you could be used in a good way. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, that might not be right, but I learned that not to do that. You know what I mean?
right,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it works both ways. It does. But yeah, some people are way off. You know, they'll say some crazy things. You got to just watch out for, you know, little trip ups.
So when you was in homeschool, when you was being homeschooled, and when you went
Yeah.
back and forth to school, what would you say like your favorite subject was?
My
Mine
favorite.
was science and math.
Yeah, mine was math and science. Yep, that's the first two things that came in my mind. I really love math because you always found an answer. There was always a end result. There was like truth to math. You know what I mean? Like
Right, yeah, it is.
there's a
It
way.
is definitive.
There's a way. Like they say, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't.
Right.
So that's what I liked about math. Now science, I just was interested in learning about the body and just things like that. I mean, obviously, I think my favorite subject had to be hands down math.
Tev said, "What's up to you, man?"
Who?
Tevin Farmer,
Yeah, Tevin Farmer's a good dude, man. I like Tevin, man. He's cool, man.
good guy.
Tevin's a
So
cool guy. Shout out Tevin.
I think you know what? Honestly, I think it's important for the reason why I'm trying. You know, like we talked about, I'm trying to stay away from boxing related questions. Is and just so people can understand the point of what we're doing is trying to get everybody to understand the fighter, the
Mm.
person outside of the fighter, right? Because
Hmm.
people get that convoluted and they'll take that persona of the fight and walk up to you with disrespect or say something crazy in the comments. The purpose of this is to try to get people to understand that you do the same things that they do. You eat, you
Mm.
sleep, you cry, you hurt, you feel pain,
Mm.
and you have ambition or you.
Mm.
So it's important for I think people to understand all of those aspects of a fighter because it's complicated and it's a lonely sport.
Yes,
Would you
yes,
agree?
100%. But I also would say this: when it comes to like when you said I do the same things that everybody, is very true, and that's why I don't like to say that I was born to do this. I like to say I was meant to do it, and I had a choice to work hard to do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's why I don't like saying I was born to do it, because it's not given to you. Nothing's given to you in this life. You could be ambitious for it and feel that strong ambition, and you could follow it, but you still need to work hard every day, keep pursuing it, keep pursuing it, keep pursuing it, and push limits, push limits, push limits. Trust in God, believe, believe, believe. And you could achieve anything you can if you just trust God and work your butt off. Like nothing's gonna be given to you. You gotta get it earned. You know, many people look at me and say, "Oh, it's given to them," but that's the exact thing where I don't. That's why I don't like to say I was born for this. No, I was
Right.
meant to do it, and I worked my ass off for it.
And so with your success, and it came well to some people it might look like it's overnight, but you've been
Mm.
working at it hard and you've been building yourself. The what was the first thing that you bought yourself when you got your first big check? What was the first thing that you bought yourself?
Man, I messed up, man. I spend mostly on clothes and designer and trying to buy a car and this like that. You know, the normal things you do when you get
When you're young
money.
and you
and
get money, yeah.
and we never had, we never had. I never had money like that. I know my parents. I mean, obviously they were blessed in the beginning, but then when I got older, we just really didn't have anything. You know, like
Right,
they say, we were on that eat better today EBT. So
right, right,
it was rough. So I I once I got that money, man, I wanted to buy everybody something. I wanted to just spend it crazy, and I'm just growing. I'm still growing in that. I'm still growing in being wise with my money,
right.
taking care of my money, And that's what Mike was telling me. You got to watch your money. You got to make sure that you put it in the right places and invest in your future, invest in your kids, invest in things that matter. So I'm learning little by little, and hopefully I do good with my money.
So, do you have a? I mean, this is kind of personal, but I'm, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Do you have like a real strong financial advisor, somebody around you giving you the right advice or moving you in the right direction? Because in boxing, once they feel like they used you enough, because you can be the man today, but 2-3 losses, unfortunately, people start writing you off, and that's why it's important for people to see the man versus the fighter. But on the other note, do you have people that's making good advice, sound advice decisions for you?
That is a personal question, but I will answer it in a more simple way. I do have people around me that love me. I do have people that support me, and they're working for my best interest. So
Oh, okay.
I will, yeah, you know what I
Okay,
mean.
we can leave it like
Leave it
that.
at
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
yeah,
no, no. That's I figured that because
yeah,
look, before me and your mom had conversation before via
yeah,
DM
yeah. I
a
think
while
so.
ago. Yeah, she's a great lady, and
Yep.
and I always feel like you're you was only as a fighter you're only as good as your circle, but as a man you represent your family and your struggles and
Mhm.
your situation, and I think that talking to you and getting to know you, most people would not see this side of you. They wouldn't expect this side because you go out, you do your thing to sell certain
Mm.
things. But it's
Mm.
important, I think, for people to really get to understand all fighters. And this is what I want to start doing. I want to have a chain of
Yeah,
these kind of
yeah.
conversations with fighters,
And
non-fighting
yep.
stuff. You know?
And that's why I hopped on with you. You know what I mean? My heart was
Right.
telling me, this dude, you know, he hasn't you haven't always been like the biggest supporter of me, but you
Right.
haven't always you're not unfair, you're like Joe
Right.
Cortez. You're fair but
Right.
you're firm. And I
Right.
respect that. I respect honesty. I respect transparency. I respect people that tell the truth. So, people may be surprised that, I'm
Yeah, they
hopping
always
on.
say that. Yeah, they
But
say to me, "Oh, you hate Ryan, right?" I said, "No, we have a mutual," and that's why I said you truly, sincerely, um, mature beyond your years because you see exactly what I'm doing. You don't
yeah.
see it as malice. You know it's not trying to hurt you. I
Mm-mm.
point out things I make fun, but I only point out things that would be true. It's not
Mm.
things that I'm trying to manufacture. I don't go and manufacture things to get likes
Mm.
and all that. I
Mm.
don't need that. You know
No.
what I'm saying? And so I could, honest to God, I could say I've never been a fan of a fighter.
Mm.
I've been a fan of what they do, but when I get
I
to
love
know
that.
the person,
Mm.
I become the fan of the person,
I love
never the
that. I
fighter.
love that.
You know?
I love it. You
So
know why I love that? Because people think they know somebody, but how are you going to know somebody if you don't talk to them every day or have a conversation with them? You're not going to
right,
know somebody by seeing from the outside. There's no way. There's no way. And that's how I feel even with God. You're not going to know God unless you talk to him every day. You got to pray to him. You got to, do things like that. And that's how I feel with people. You have to, I don't judge people off of just seeing what I see. I have to like talk to them. I have to get to know them and what they represent. That's why I want to represent myself the best I can, because that's the thing people see first. They
right,
see they see how I look. So that's why I try to do my hair well, and I try to keep myself together. I try to watch what I say. I try to,
right,
dress the way I dress. I try to keep a clean image, because that's the first thing people see, and that's what people are not getting. You don't need to promote uh, this facade about you if you're at that top. You know what I mean? You need to represent a goodness to you. I feel that way. I don't know
right.
how other people feel, but that's just what I think.
No, that's dope. Yeah, bro, I appreciate that, and
Yeah.
100%. So outside of boxing, outside of YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff, do you do any fishing, or what other hobbies do you have outside of this sport?
Oh man, I like playing basketball. I mean,
You
whoever
any
wants
good?
that whoever
You
wants
you
one
any
on
you any
one.
good?
Like I said, whoever wants the one-on-one, go comment 100 times or do whatever you want to do. If you want, Don't underestimate me in basketball. I'm telling you, I could have been a point guard. I got the
You nice.
skills, but
You nice like that.
man, you don't
Everybody is
even know,
nice in basketball until you got
man.
to get them on the court.
Okay,
Everybody.
okay. So what? Do you want to do the one
No,
I want to
no,
talk?
I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. I'm
Oh
good.
man.
But I just know how it goes. I know how it goes. But if
Yeah,
you nice,
yeah.
you nice. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what's funny? I've almost gotten in a fight. Well, I've gotten into a fight because of basketball. Basketball is so weird. Like for some reason,
Yeah.
it brings out that animal in you sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course. It's a physical sport, but it's
yeah,
supposed to be non-physical, and it
yeah,
pushes you to your limits mentally and psychologically because you got to be physical, backing the person down, trying to score the shot, and then you try to
right,
get in their head the same
right.
way you would do in boxing. You can't hold me. You can't do this.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
This is where you
Stop
get your
touching me.
crap
Hey,
talking
stop
on.
touching. It starts like, stop touching me. Stop touching
Yeah,
me. You holding.
yeah.
You holding.
Yeah.
Man, you can't put your hand there. Man, just be quiet. You know what
Right.
I mean? That's how it
Yeah.
starts.
Is your dad into fishing or any outdoor sports, hunting, shooting, and anything? None of that?
My dad is a piano player. He's a musician, so that's what my dad does.
Oh,
Yeah.
word. Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah. He's a musician.
Do
He went to school for being a musician.
do you know how to play?
I know a little bit of piano. I have a sense of music. You know what I mean? That's where I get it from my dad. It's like I love soul music. I love music that has that. I like jazz. I like all
Right.
that. I like things you feel. So I get that from my dad. So my dad is really good with the piano.
Now, here's the other thing, because I get a lot of people talking crazy stuff. Will you learn Spanish?
I hope so. I really do hope so because I know that at first I thought maybe I just can't. I mean, maybe it's just not possible because I tried. I can't find time to learn. But I think I'm going to really invest a lot of my time to really learn because I know that it's just going to reach so much more people the way if I'm able to speak, that the language and I want to. So I'm going to be trying to dedicate myself like that. I mean, look at Kobe. He learned, what, 3 languages?
Four. Kobe
And
spoke so many
4?
different languages. Yeah,
Yeah,
four
so
languages.
I mean, I don't know exact number, but he learned a lot. So I mean, if he could do it, I could do it. So I'm gonna try. I'm
Yeah,
gonna try my best.
because here's the other thing, right? Canelo.
If
I always
anybody
thought
has any
Rosetta Stone
suggestions,
or
please
Babel.
write it down. Please write it down. I need to I need to see something. Let me see. Okay, Spanish
Bro, you're gonna get
dictionary.
so many women trying to give you private lessons.
Ah man, shoot. Uh-uh.
Listen, so you know what I always thought? I always thought that, I have Canelo as my number one pound for pound, right? But I
Yes.
always thought that he would have transcended boxing if I know he speaks English, but if he went public with speaking English, he could have crossed, like you said, you can grow if you learn Spanish. I always
Yes.
felt like he can be bigger if he learned English and he did interviews on English. He's a good-looking
Mm.
guy, he's charismatic, but
Yes.
you don't see that because he don't speak English.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Canelo is just such a great fighter, which propelled him to be a superstar the way he is, right?
Right.
But yeah, obviously, I mean, Canelo does speak English. Like, he does speak English.
Yeah, he does.
Um, so like it's just he hasn't shown it on camera, obviously, but he does speak English, but that just shows you how much of a great boxer he is. He has look how big he got, and he didn't even know English. You know what I mean?
Right,
And even
right,
Triple
right,
G really
right.
got as big as he got, and that just showed you if you're great at your craft, that speaks 1,000 languages.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's that's true, and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
well stated. I agree
yeah,
with that because it transcends all barrier languages. When you're
yeah,
good at something,
yeah.
people don't have to learn what you're talking about or
They
hear
can
what you.
see it,
But if
right?
they watch it, they can see it. That's really interesting. That's
And
why I
they can.
say, man, you're wise beyond your years.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Appreciate
interesting.
that.
So I'm not gonna hold you up because I really
Yeah,
appreciate you. I know you are a man of your word, and you came
of
back
course,
and you got back on.
of course.
My last closing question
Mm.
is: if you could live anywhere in the world, where would that be?
If I could live anywhere in the world, well, Texas. I want to move to Texas.
Texas.
Yes.
And why can't you do it?
Well, I plan to move there soon, but
Okay.
so
All right.
I'm gonna
Cool.
do it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Listen, King Riot, you my
Have a
man.
good. Yes.
Always, brother. And you got the number. Hit me anytime.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you, champ. I
God,
appreciate you 100%.
God bless you.
Enjoy your
God
night.
bless you. Yes.
All
All
right.
right, man.
Cool.
Bye.